Hello students, welcome back to our class of DBMS. Now in last class we have already introduced what is an ER diagram and what are the different elements in an ER diagram. In today's class we are going to discuss in detail one specific region in ER diagram, that is relationship. Now it is going to be very easy for any designer to define the entity along with its attribute, and we have seen in last class that just simply make one rectangle, specify the name, say employee, and then I am making another one, say this is my project. Okay, project. Okay, now I have the relationship table in between them. Now they are connected. So employee involved in a project. Now tell me, what will be the relationship? See, one employee can do many projects, and in one project we can have more than one employee. I'm again telling you, one employee can work in many projects, and in one project you can have many employees. So it is going to be what? Many is to many. Yeah, correct. Now say another situation is there. No, let me finish this first. Now in this case we will have this employee table. I'm specifying the attributes. EID, then name, and then maybe mobile. Okay, now this is the ID and the name and maybe details. Now I know that this EID is going to be the primary key. This EID is going to be the primary key. Now this PID is going to be the primary key for this project table, whereas this EID is going to be primary key for this employee table. Now these two, that means this employee and this project, will become two tables. One is employee table and one is project table, but we also need to make this involving junction table, and there will be at least two attributes, and these attributes will be simply the foreign keys of these two tables. That means ID, PID. We have two ID. One is EID for this employee table, PID for this project table, and we will simply specify these two attributes in this junction table. This is only true when you have many to many relationship, but when you have a relationship like one to one, then there is no need of specifying or making this physical relationship table That is, say this is one relationship between one to one. Let's say I'm taking one example like maybe husband and this is wife. Now one husband can have one wife and one wife can have one husband, so maybe this is my has relationship, but there's no need to make this has table in physical database. Okay, now another case, that is when you are going to have a table like this, that is this is my table, and this is another employee table, and this is say department table. Now this department table have two attributes. One is DID and the next is called DName, and here is my DID and my name. Now what will happen is that there are two of these attributes. Okay, now this is my key and this is also my key, and this is walks in now what we will do in this case is that we'll simply see the cardinality. Now here one employee can work in one department only, but in one department you can have many employees, so we will write like this, one, and in this case it will be M, and I have seen this example in the last tutorial also, but the main thing that I am going to discuss here is that now in this case you are going to have this department as a physical table, this employee as a physical table, and there will be no physical table for this walks in, but this DID will be in this table. So that means this one side, that means in your relationship any side that has one will get its primary key in this M side. Okay, so that means we must specify the DID for every employee. Done. Okay, so there are three options for us. One is many is to many. In that case we need to have three of them, that means this main entity table 1 and 2, and as well as this junction table we will have. Maybe we can have some more attribute in here also, say starting date, yes date, starting date, or like something like that. You can have that, you can have as many attribute you can want in this table, and it will physically exist. Okay, but in this case here you can have any number of attribute for this husband table and this wife table, but this wife and husband table will also physically exist, but this hash table will not exist. And in this case also this employee table will physically exist and this department table will also physically exist, but this walks in not exist, but this DID will come in this side. That means this one part in this case this DID will come in the employee. That means for every employee we will simply specify the department name, and if you want to have any more detail about that department, then simply come to the department table, and through the DID you can have entire detail of that department. Okay, we will come to SQL, and then we will discuss how these things are done through in real life example in through SQL in Oracle or any other environment in our forthcoming classes. Okay, I think this concept is clear. Okay, thank you.